Tonight, maritime company Red Arrow is looking to expand their bus routes after Greyhound announced cutbacks. And
this is nice up here.
Midway Fun, your look at the 2018 Colonial Day rides. Plus,
Adding beds, while they aren't direct sunlight, they do emit some harmful UV rays.
how to get that summer glow without the health risk.
This is Newcap News with Michaela Henshaw.
Good evening and thank you for joining us. 2 men were killed last night in a crash north of the Battlefords. Police say the men were the driver and a front passenger in a car that collided with another about 4 kilometers south of Cochin. It happened around 11:30 yesterday. Police say one car was pulling a U-turn on the highway. The driver of the other vehicle was treated at the scene and then released. The highway was eventually cleared. Well, more options are being put on the table to make up for the loss of Greyhound in Western Canada. Red Arrow already runs a number of routes under different brands across Alberta and British Columbia. They say they've already heard from communities about the loss of their Greyhound service. The maritime bus company has also been watching the situation and are open to all sorts of collaboration.
I think there's opportunities in other communities potentially for maybe smaller van type service versus a full-size coach.
Can we come together and make sure that busing remains in our country?
Premier Rachel Notley says she intends to push for that type of cooperation. She plans to raise the issue at the next Premier's meeting. The Office of Federal Transportation Minister says they'll continue to watch the situation, adding they are encouraged by the recent expression of interest by Canadian bus carriers to fill some of the potential service gaps caused by Greyhound's decision. And meanwhile, the federal government is making it mandatory to buckle up on highway buses. Transport Canada says seatbelts will be required on all newly built medium and large buses built on September 1st, 2020 or later. Small buses aren't included as they already have lap and shoulder belts. The new requirements don't apply to school buses. They are already designed to protect children in the event of a crash. Well, the family of Adam Harold is providing more details on their lawsuit against the driver of the semi that crashed into the Humboldt Broncos bus. The lawsuit also names the trucking company and the manufacturer of the bus as defendants. The Harolds are hoping the claim accomplishes several goals, such as improving highway safety, enhancing semi-driver training, and improving bus safety. The family says they are reminded of their loss everywhere they turn. They say grief, guilt, anxiety, and loss have taken over their lives. Well, yesterday our Brett Holden headed down to Colonial Days to test out some of the food they have, and today he went out to test some of the rides.
Hey, I'm Brett Holden and I'm back here at Colonial Days. Last time we were here, we were trying some of the great food that they had on hand, but this time, let's try some of the rides. Let's go. First was the Starship 3000, where it spins around and makes you feel like you were pinned to the wall. Oh my goodness. Oh, something's moving. It's moving. It's moving. Oh! Stuff's going on. Stuff's happening. Oh! Oh my goodness. I'm dizzy. Next is the Sizzler. If I wasn't already dizzy, I'm sure this ride will change that. Exhilarating so far. It feels like I'm gonna hit this guy every single time we're going over there. Sup? I think he liked it. Now it's time for the Super Shot, which was much scarier than I expected. Ooh, nice golf course. This is nice up here. Oh my goodness! That was awesome. Oh, that was good. All right, I'm still dizzy from some of the rides that I went on, but you can try them out yourself here at Colonial Days. There are over 30 rides and attractions for you to try. Here at Colonial Days, I'm Brett Holden for Newcap News.
I'm dizzy just watching him. And Colonial Days features performers as well from all over the country, evidenced perfectly by the Flying Fools High Dive Show. Our Josh Ryan has a look at the high diving performers who combine dangerous acrobatics with hilarious antics.
It's a show that's entertained audiences across the country, even the globe, for decades. And it comes with unique qualifications.
We seek talent from all over. There aren't many people who can do what we do. It's a very dangerous and specialized form of diving.
The Flying Fools, who come from a gymnastic and competitive diving background, have 3 shows a day, which combine Olympic and clown diving. It ranges from a 3-meter springboard to a gravity-defying 80-foot drop.
Go to an 8-story building or somewhere on the 8th floor and just kind of peek out the window, and that's about the height that we're at.
Manager Simon Sarabura says the creativity and joy that comes from performing makes the physical demand worth it.
There's a huge adrenaline rush that goes with what we do, and performing in front of a live audience is great.
Traveling has also allowed them to experience every aspect of their country's culture.
And see every single part of Canada that you never thought you would experience.
And Lloydminster has been a welcome stop on the tour for both the hospitality and audience interaction.
The crowd has been extremely responsive and enthusiastic during our shows, which drives us to perform well.
It's so fun to express and then hear people laugh at the stuff that you do.
Josh Ryan, Newcap News.
Well, members at the Lloydminster Community Youth Center have been in the walkway at Anniversary Park cleaning up unwanted artwork as they partner with the city for the annual graffiti cleanup. This is the second of 4 sessions that are taking place across summer holidays, giving youth a chance to provide a service to their community and see the results of their hard work.
We're going to be cleaning up, and it's going to be good for this because they're not going to be mad about the graffiti.
Organizers say the response from the community has been nothing but positive since the program was launched.
We're hoping that the kids come out of the project with a real sense that they've had an impact on the community and that they've made a difference, and they sort of encourage that sense of volunteerism going into the future. We also want to help them develop some practical skills. A lot of the folks involved in the program have never painted a fence before, never cleaned up graffiti before, and that's something that will serve them in the future.
Materials for the cleanup were donated by Home Hardware, which has helped the team meet half of their goal of 20 properties cleaned. More sessions are scheduled for August 2nd and 23rd. Well, obtaining a summer glow can be a goal for many, but research has shown that sun lovers increase their risk of skin cancer significantly. In this week's Healthy Living, our Brittany Matiga shares with us a safer way to achieve a healthy bronzed look.
Temperatures increase in the summertime, and so does the sun's strength. Many people want to work on their tans from the sun or from a tanning bed, but healthcare professionals are advising against it.
Tanning beds, while they aren't direct sunlight, they do emit some harmful UV rays. It's very similar to what we would be exposed to in the sun. So they carry with them the same risk of long-term outcomes such as skin cancers coming up with them.
Malik says if we are spending time outdoors, it's important we apply sunscreen every 1 to 2 hours and a minimum 30 SPF.
SPF stands for sun protection factor, and the numbers behind it are indicators of how much longer it can extend your skin's tolerance to the sun.
But if you still want a deep bronze without the long-term risks, a spray tan could be a new solution. Erica Cosgrove is a spray tan technician, and she says the process is very simple. The at-home prep before a tan is the first step.
You need to exfoliate very well with no soaps or anything, just a stiff brush or a loofah if you could, about 8 to 12 hours before the tan, because you want to give those pores a chance to close back up.
Cosgrove says most of her clients wear a simple black bikini bottom during the tan.
We mix the custom solution in the gun. I always add a scent as well, either coconut, pineapple, whatever the girls want. And then you just slowly move it up and down the body, and you cover the whole body 100%. Only one pass is necessary, and it's really that simple. It's a spray and go.
The entire tan takes about 10 to 15 minutes to complete, and Cosgrove says they take a minimum of 8 hours to fully activate on the skin.
The solution's main ingredient is the DHA, or the dihydroxyacetane. This reacts with the skin, causing it to turn brown, very similarly to the way an apple would turn brown if you cut it and left it open on the counter.
Cosgrove says a spray tan can last anywhere from 5 to 10 days and give you a perfect glow for any occasion. Brittany Matika, Newcap News.
All right, well, there's lots to do in the border city this week. The Fighting in Flanders exhibit is at the Lloydminster Cultural and Science Center. And if you're looking to cool off, the outdoor pool is hosting their grand opening bash. Our Heather Clagus has the details in what's happening.
Colonial Days is here. Head to the Lloyd X grounds. You're going to find so many things to do with the entire family. There's so many different rides out on the Midway. There's different games that you can play. They've got an area set up just for kids here, so the kids can check out the Ernestine Hat Pin Show. They can take part in the pedal tractor pull. Plus, here at the Lloyd X grounds, they've got horse shows, they've got cattle shows, they've even got old-time threshing demonstrations. They're going to have the Demolition Derby coming up on Saturday, and fantastic entertainment lined up at the grandstand stage. Coming up tomorrow night, it's Trooper. Saturday night, it's George Canyon, and a huge fireworks display. So we hope to see you at the Lloyd X grounds for Colonial Days. The Lloydminster Cultural and Science Center is hosting a new exhibit. It's called Fighting in Flanders, Gas, Mud, Memory, and it's on loan from the Canadian War Museum. And coming up on Tuesday night, they're hosting a special viewing that evening. And also that evening, they're going to have artwork from some local students from E.S. Laird Middle School, and some folks from the Royal Canadian Legion here in Lloydminster will be on hand. So get your tickets now for this special viewing coming up on Tuesday night. You can get tickets by stopping by the museum. It's a prize every time when you go fishing at the fish pond, and thanks to John at Universal Music Canada, it's a prize of music for you every single week. And this time, you can win a copy of Sugarland's brand new album, Bigger. It includes their hit, Still the Same, and their latest song, Babe, featuring Taylor Swift. If you want a copy, it's really easy. All you have to do is email your name and daytime phone number to tvcontests@newcap.ca. We want to say thanks to John at Universal Music Canada for setting us up with the music. And if you've been looking for a place to cool off from the heat, the Lloydminster Outdoor Pool is the place to be. They're hosting their grand opening bash coming up tomorrow afternoon at 1 o'clock. Well, whatever you choose to do this weekend, I hope you have a great one. I'm Heather Clagus, and that's what's happening.
This is Newcap Sports.
Well, summer camp, it's the last chance for Bobcat Junior A hopefuls to make an impression on the organization's coaching staff before main camp, and this year provided a glimpse of what the 2018-2019 version of the team may look like. One important role. Our Lance Phillips has more.
Less than 50 players attended Bobcats summer camp with an expectation to impress coaching staff. The smaller group made for an exciting weekend of hockey for coaches, while players had a chance to get to know one another in a more intimate setting.
They all stayed at Lakeland College dorms and got to hang out together and get to know each other. So it was a good bonding thing, and it was a great weekend. They did some Power Edge Pro out there, some skill stuff, and got the scrimmage.
Guys are showcasing what they kind of got halfway through the season, and trying to prove that they're ready to come back and make the team kind of thing.
Veteran players and coaches were pleasantly surprised with some of the skill and hard work, two of the many traits the 2018-19 Bobcats will be known for.
A lot of guys showed a lot of skill out there, so good skilled hockey team moves the puck well, and is gritty and hard in the corners.
Character, hard working, and high-end skill, right? You need the depth, and that's what we're looking for, to have 4 solid lines that can all score. And if you have that, you've got a pretty good hockey team.
With the departure of Kobe Walker, high-end scoring will be taken over by the Bobcats' new top line. But pressure isn't what Kaiser is feeling entering his 3rd year with the club.
You know, it's kind of fun to be coming back, and you know, kids know your name, and it's yeah, no, it's fun. I don't think it's not negative pressure at all. You know, I don't feel pressure. I'm excited to get the season going.
He's going to be a huge part of our offense. You know, him, Tucker Scalberry, Drew Workentine, a 20-year-old that has WHL experience and played in Melfort last year. You know, those are 3 20-year-olds that we expect big things.
But there's still a considerable hole in one key position: goal. The Bobcats have been blessed with great goaltending over the past 2 seasons and will require it again to make another postseason run.
From what we've seen out here, I think those goalies are, you know, all of them are, you know, they're ready to make the jump kind of thing. Everything's going to fall into place. You know, no one's really worried yet. There's a long time till season.
Going forward, we got to go out there and find someone. You know, we have a couple in mind, you know, that are in the WHL, and maybe we'll get them, maybe we won't, but you know, that's a huge part. We have goaltending, you know, it can win you a lot of hockey games.
Lance Phillips, Newcap Sports, Lloydminster.
Well, the deadline is fast approaching for nominations of beef producers with innovative environmental practices on their operations. In this week's Agriculture Report, our Gerard Lampow learns about the application process.
Getting a quality steak on your plate starts with the work of beef producers on the farm. Alberta Beef is on the hunt to recognize the stewardship of cattle producers whose dedication may otherwise go unnoticed.
We're asking producers to share their unique environmental practices to help us share a positive story about cattle production and its contribution to the environment.
Producers are noted for taking care of their land and their animals. While this may come naturally, Alberta Beef wants to salute what many take for granted.
This award recognizes cattle operations that demonstrate leadership in environmental stewardship through practices that contribute to the land while enhancing productivity and profitability.
While you can't nominate yourself, a neighbor or a customer can single out area producers for the accolade, but they need to go online.
The nomination form is available on the homepage of our website at albertabeef.org, or you can contact the ABP office or track down your local delegate.
The Environmental Stewardship Award will be handed down later this year, but the deadline for nominations is close at hand.
The deadline for nominations is July 15th, and winners will be announced in December at our annual general meeting.
Gerard Lampow, Newcap News.
This Ag Report is brought to you by the Lloydminster Co-op Agro Centre. Depend on them for product, tools, and expert advice. Shop at your local Lloyd Co-op Agro Centre with branch locations in Lashburn and Neilburg.
Welcome back. Well, one of the best parts of Colonial Days is the
best part.
Yeah, the best part is the food that you can get on the Midway. And this year, the Border City Métis Society booth is serving up deep-fried Jell-O.
You freeze the cubes that you cut and skewer them, and then you just dip them in sweet batter when you're ready to cook and let them cook for, it doesn't take very long at all. And then whipped cream, chocolate drizzle, and cherries.
Very interesting. They always add last year's State Fair winner from the Texas Fair to their menu. So next year they could be serving up deep-fried Fruit Loops or deep-fried chicken noodle soup.
My
and
gosh,
I'm curious how they'll deep fry soup.
Yeah.
We'll have to see.
Either way, let's go down and enjoy some of this.
We will. Have a good night, everyone.
Have a good
Take
one.
care.